The Wandavision trailer dropped this week, and all I could say, honestly, is wow. It made me so excited for the show, and it also made me happy that we're finally getting some Marvel content this year. Hello everyone, and welcome to my secret base. My name is Edster, and today I take a look at 5 ways Wandavision will affect the MCU. Before we get started, please take a few moments to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Alright, let's get started. Alright, let's begin with one of the biggest villains the Avengers faced, Ultron. Ultron has a big connection to the Scarlet Witch, as she was introduced as one of his sidekicks, and he was also responsible for the death of her brother. Perhaps in a pit of rage, she brings back the villain while losing control of her magic, or while exploring the multiverse, this Ultron from another universe gets sucked into a wormhole and ends up in the regular timeline, bonding with the Ultron head from Spider-Man Homecoming in order to know the events that have transpired in the meanwhile. I don't expect Ultron to play a role in this show, and I solely expect this to just be a way of reintroducing the character into the MCU, and this will also likely pay off after the next big threat is taken care of. In Avengers Endgame, we saw a 2012 Loki from an alternate timeline escape from the Avengers with the Tesseract, thus changing that timeline forever. That Loki will get his own series on Disney+, which will focus a lot on time travel. While I could see Marvel playing around with the multiverse, I do feel that the concept of stories happening in different universes might not be done so quickly, and that all Disney+ series at the moment will end up affecting mostly the regular MCU timeline. Which is why I could see Wandavision or Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness find a way to bring that Loki from his universe to the main universe, probably using the Space Stone, though I'm sure this won't be shown on this show and will likely happen during the events of Loki. Okay, this one will play out similar to Loki. As we saw at the end of Deadpool 2, he was also playing around with his timeline and even the real world. Perhaps the show will use this as a vehicle in which to bring everyone's favorite merc with a mouth into the MCU. This could happen either at the end of the show or teased during the show and then finalized in a post-credit scene at the end of the next Doctor Strange. Perhaps the meeting Ryan Reynolds had with Marvel executives was about the show, and he could have a small cameo that's been kept a secret from everyone. I could see him stumble upon the MCU as he goes around changing things, or perhaps in a quest of finding more people like her, Wanda stumbles upon the universe that Deadpool is from, and this is where she finds out about mutants. This leads her to wanting to merge both universes, but eventually fails to do so, but not before Wade Wilson jumps over to this universe, hopefully bringing a few friends along with him. You know, Blind Owl, Cable, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Domino. This one is a very popular rumor, and it's the introduction of Mephisto. When rumors arose of Evan Peters joining WandaVision, everyone thought he might be reprising his role as Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, a role which was pretty much the highlight of all the movies he was in. I think it was 2. However, just as quick, everyone started thinking about his American Horror Story background, and the rumors of Peters playing Mephisto arose. Mephisto in the comics is most famous for his involvement with Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet story, a role which Ebony Maw fulfilled in the MCU. In the comics, Wanda has 2 kids, which are actually shards of Mephisto. It could be that Wanda uses her powers to travel and create alternate universes based on sitcoms, and Mephisto takes advantage of her by somehow using the essence of himself, Wanda, and maybe even Vision to make Wanda's and Vision's kids. The main plot of the series may involve Agatha Harkness acting as a nosy neighbor in order to help Wanda break her own illusion so she can save her children before they are absorbed by Mephisto. This story could end up that in order to stop Mephisto from getting to her and her children, she tears reality into different universes, with these events culminating in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Lastly, and let's be honest, this is the single most popular rumor about both this series and the next Doctor Strange movie. And it is the reverse House of M. One of the reasons why Scarlet Witch goes a bit crazy is the fact that she lost not only those she loved the most, but also the ones she connected with the most, her brother Pietro and her love Vision. Following up from my previous points about her discovering mutants in the Deadpool part of the video, I think that's something that she's not going to forget, and after all the events conclude, we might get a reverse House of M. How, you may say? I could see a scenario in the show probably shortly after failing to merge the Deadpool timeline with her universe. She starts to think that perhaps if she could fracture reality itself, she could also create mutants in her own universe. However, she leaves this alone as she's too busy running away from Mephisto or some other stuff. However, after the events of the Multiverse of Madness, we finally get it. The moment we've all been waiting for. The single thing this show was building towards. Her children finally saved. But she doesn't want them to feel as alone as she felt. Once all is calm, Stephen Strange, with his guard down, slowly realizes that Wanda is about to pull one last power move. They meet eyes as the good doctor conjures a spell to put a stop to her. But it's too late, and she finally utters those words. Let there be mutants. Her spell blasts the universe, awakening the mutant gene within certain individuals. Unbeknownst to them, these mutants weren't created by the blast or her magic, but the gene just lie dormant within those individuals, including her and her brother. They just didn't know. Somewhere in Egypt, a certain ancient mutant awakened now that his brethren is back. Well, that's all for this week. Do you think this show will introduce mutants? How do you think Wandavision will affect the MCU? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out more of my content on the screen right now, and like me on Facebook. See ya!